It's the Daebak Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Daebak Show. I'm your host, Eric Nam, and today is, unfortunately, I come bearing some very bittersweet news. Very bittersweet news. This is the last episode of the Daebak Show for now. For now. Not forever, but for now. So I've been doing this show for over 2.5 years. It's coming up, like if we hit January, we're almost at 3, like 2 years and 9 months. And in that time, we've done close to, I'd say 160 or 70 episodes. I know it's listed as like 140 something or 150 something, but we also have bonus episodes. I've also done like so many commit or quits and I think you're dope and so many. It's like I've done probably easily 200 something episodes over the past 2.5 years. 2.5 years to 3 years. And here's the thing. I'm also going on tour. If you don't know, I'm going on tour. I have 52 shows confirmed right now. 52 shows. That's 52 different times that I'm moving and doing a show and singing and all this stuff. And I also have an album coming out January 7th. It's called There and Back Again. And it's a freaking banger. It's freaking hot fire with some sexiness all over it. But it drops January 7th. And it's going to be great. So if you haven't done so already, please save it now to your Spotify or Apple accounts. You can order the physical album. It's beautiful. I worked so hard on this. And I hope you guys can check it out. Share it with your friends, your family, and everybody. And also I have new merch. So all this stuff is at ericnam.com. It's really, really, really great. But here's the other thing. Here's the flip side of that. I am just so overwhelmed with the amount of things that I'm doing and also just thinking about tour. For me personally, I just need this time to step back and to, for now, indefinitely, just say, see you later to the Daebak Show. So I know it might come as a surprise to many of you. It might be shocking or surprising or whatever. And I know one of the questions that I get so often is like, how do you do so much? How do you do what you do? Well, this is one of those moments where I have to take a step back and look at myself and look at my career and all the things that are going on and say, hey, you can't do everything. You can't do everything. You need to take time for yourself and you need to take care of yourself. And this is one of those things that I felt like I needed to do. It's not sexy, it's not fun, it's not cool. And it's honestly a bit sad because I've truly appreciated and I've loved this process over the past 2.5, 3 years of creating podcasts for you guys. But I think it's just time right now. And it's just the right thing to do. And I was thinking about it like, you know, every good thing must develop and it must grow and it must inevitably come to an end. Not saying this is an end. Again, this is kind of like a pause, I think. But I think back on like all these pivotal moments, even in my career, where you're like, I don't want to stop it, but you need to move on to grow and to develop. And a great example of that is actually, I don't know if you guys remember, I was the MC of a show called ASC, After School Club. And I had done that for a little while, probably did close to a similar amount of episodes, 150 or 200 episodes. And I was like, I need to stop. I need to take a break or I need to move on or I need to, just reset because as a creative and as a person that's in front of camera and always like throwing ideas out there and building things, like you need time to experience and to witness and to feel other things. And this is one of those pivotal moments for me. And I know it and it just kind of has to happen. And so even on the last tour, on the 2020 tour, like I was podcasting through the tour and it was really hard, guys, like really, really hard for me to do. And I didn't want to put myself in a position or the listeners and fans in a position where they're like, oh, this isn't a great show because clearly his head is on tour. His head is on stage. And if you look at the tour schedule, some weeks I'm doing 4 or 5 shows a week. And so to do this on a weekly cadence, it's just too much. And, but going back to the ASC thing, like it was only after I stopped ASE that I took a little bit of a breath and I started to do all these other cool things that I thought were really, really developmentally important for me, and also allowed me to meet my fans, my listeners, and my viewers in a new way. And so, obviously, content's not going to stop. There will also be things coming from me on my YouTube, youtube.com/Eric Nam. I'm also finding myself really wanting to create things in a different way. I don't know what it is yet, but I have like this creative urge, this inkling, this urgency, this push inside of me to be like, hey, you want to try something new. You have to try something new. And so that's what I think most of next year is going to be. Obviously, I'm on tour, but I'm really going to try to focus on like bettering myself as a creator, as an artist, as a person. And so this, I think, just this break comes at a great time for me. But I just want to say thank you to you, the listener, to the fan, to the audience member, to the viewer who has been watching, who has been loving, who has subscribed, and to those who have been patrons of ours on Patreon, who are supporting us financially. Thank you so much. Like, none of this would have been possible without every single one of you. And I truly, truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, it's so cool to, I've been traveling a lot recently. And when I travel, even recently in New York, I was at a Starbucks and a young gentleman who was a barista goes, "Hey, I really like your podcast." And I was like, "What? Oh, thank you." But it's been so cool to build a community and a relationship with listeners that I think is just very unique and very different, very intimate. And it's also, I don't know, like I feel like there are people who know me for music. There are also people who know me for TV. There's also a bunch of people who know me for podcasting. It's just a bunch of different things. But this community that we've built through Daebak Show has been really, really cool. And I've loved it and I appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you. I also want to say thank you so much to the incredible staff and the team here at Dive Studios. It's been a journey from starting with me and Brian just sitting at my kitchen counter, not knowing what we're doing and fighting about moldy Furbies and pumpkin sauce. Like from there to having an incredible team of incredibly talented individuals from all walks of life and all over the world join us. It's been so cool and such an honor to see how you work, to be inspired by you, and just like blown away by the talent that so many of our team members have. And it's been such a joy and an honor to work alongside you in building this show. And so thank you so much to the producers, to the designers, to the marketing team, to literally so many people. There's so many things that go on behind the scenes here. And none of this would have been possible without each and every one of you. So thank you again so much. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Oh, also, what else? Thank you to all the artists that have come through, all the management teams and all the artists who have come through, who have trusted me and the team here to tell your story and to ask you the questions and allow you to have conversations that I hope were like conversations you couldn't have anywhere else. And I think that's something that when I look at comments and they're like, wow, I've never heard or seen my artist talk about this or talk this way. Like, that's a point of pride, I think, for me to be able to say that we did that. And so thank you again to everybody involved. Again, the fans, the listeners, the audiences, the team, the artists, the management teams, everybody. It's been such a joy. I would be lying if I said it was always easy, because that's not true. There were times where I was like, oh my God, I have to do another episode. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. But that's just, burnout is real. I don't think I ever got burnt out. I think I got tired every once in a while. And, but that's the real emotion. And it's been cool to be able to talk to you guys on a weekly basis like this. And thank you for making us your weekly podcast. I know so many of you have made this part of your weekly routine, part of your studying routine or your workout routine. And it's been super cool to see that. But again, this is not goodbye. This is a see you later. I don't know when or how this will come back to life. It may be in podcast form. It may be in TV form. I have no idea. But when it happens, it's going to be bigger and better than ever. So until that day comes, yeah, stay healthy, stay happy. And I will continue to find ways to put out great content and to entertain you and make you smile and laugh and feel, because that's, I think, my job as an artist. So thank you guys. What else is there? So yeah, I'm going on tour again. 52 shows confirmed, more coming. I think if you're around, please come. If the tickets aren't sold out, it's ericnam.com. Album's coming, the physical album's coming. It's just been a lot going on this year, a lot going on in my head, a lot that I want to improve, a lot of things that I want to try, and I just need the time. So thank you guys for understanding. I keep rambling because I don't like saying goodbyes, and I don't know how to do this because we've never done this. We've never done like a see you later episode. It's always been like, hey, I'll see you next week. So it's kind of awkward. For sake of old times of me just rambling, I'm going to ramble about what I did the past few weeks. So the past few weeks have been absolutely insane. Since November, 20th to now, I've been on a plane, hold on. I've been on a plane 12 to 15 times, I think. It's been outrageous. I went from LA to Cornell. So I went to LA to Newark, drove up to Cornell. By the way, Newark, I never been, but I have certain feelings about it. New Jersey, no offense if you're from New Jersey. I have a lot of feelings about New Jersey. I don't know you well enough to make judgment calls, but my experience for one night there was not very good. I booked a hotel, okay? I got there at 2 a.m. because the shuttle didn't come. The dude that I kept calling, he was not answering. He just clearly was not working. So I Ubered to the hotel, even though they were supposed to pick me up, get there. The dude's not working. He's out smoking. And he's like, yo, what's up? I was like, bro, don't even. I've been traveling for so long. Just get me into my room. I get into my room, okay? And there's hair, random people's hair all over my bed. And I was like, I can't sleep in this bed. That's gross. COVID. And also gross. So I was like, can I get a new room? So he changes my room. I get a new room. And you might have seen on my Instagram story, it's like a storage closet. Pretty much it's a room with an old outdated gym bike in there, just facing the wall. And I was like, great, you gave me the storage cabinet. Appreciate it. Anyways, slept, woke up the next day, drove to Cornell, took 3-4 hours. Had a great time at Cornell playing a show. It was 800 people or something, sold out, super fun. And then, I went to this restaurant there called Mashita, I think. Anyways, they had jjajangmyeon and jampong and mandu, and it was really good. And the three ladies there were so nice, and they're like, oh my God, it's you. It's Eric now. I'm like, yes, hi. He's like, I could tell by your voice. She literally walked up to me after she served my food, and she goes, you have a beautiful voice. And I was like, thank you. Because I didn't know she recognized me, but she was like, as we were leaving, she was like, here's your tea. I'm just giving you tea for free. Can I have a photo? And I was like, of course. And she was like, I love your voice. This lady was 60 something. She's older than my parents. And she was like, I love watching you on YouTube. She's an old Korean lady. And she was so nice. She's like, can I get a photo? And she's like, I could tell who you are just by looking at your eyes under your mask. And I was like, thank you. But anyways, if you're ever in Ithaca, go to this place, Mashita. I think it's called Mashita. It was good. It was actually good. They hand pull all the noodles, so it takes a while. But it was super good, super sweet people. Anyways, go to New York, take a few meetings, fly to Atlanta. I get to Atlanta. What happens? I get a call hey, this is for Thanksgiving, right? Hey, do you want to go to San Diego for Comic-Con? I was like, no, it's Thanksgiving week. I don't want to travel. I just got to Atlanta. Just got to town. Well, They're like, please, 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 please. And I said, okay, fine. So Thanksgiving week, I get into Atlanta on like Tuesday. Yeah, I get into Atlanta on Tuesday, spend Wednesday and Thursday with the parents, have Thanksgiving dinner. And I saw my friends. By the way, caveat, anytime in Atlanta, I think it's like a pretty much a ritual for me to go to Waffle House. But it was my friends. We had some food and some drinks at a friend's house, and we went to Waffle House at like 3 a.m. And it was wild. We had everything on the menu at like 3 a.m. And it was great. And then like 4 a.m. rolls around, and a bunch of really shady characters walk into Waffle House, and we're like, we gotta leave. And that's when we left. Anyways, after Thanksgiving, 7 a.m. the next day, I get on a flight to San Diego, do Comic-Con for the first time. Comic-Con was very interesting. I'd never been to Comic-Con. People dressed up in all different ways, super, super like fascinating. Some really cool costumes. And then I was like, okay, I'll go to LA, drop off my stuff. Because originally, again, remind you, I wasn't supposed to be in San Diego. I wasn't going to Comic-Con, but I went. Go to LA, change out my laundry, and then I fly to Miami for Art Basel. Art Basel is a art exhibit. It's an art fair. Hundreds of galleries from all over the world are showing art from their artists and whatever. Super cool to see. Never been. I'm trying to like get into art and like be cultured and like, be cool in things, guys. But I had a really good time in Miami, met a bunch of like artists and gallerists and really interesting, fascinating people. And then I fly back to LA for an event, which got canceled due to Omicron concerns. So I spent like a day in LA, and then I flew out to New York. I get to New York, press week, you guys. I'm staying at the Westin Times Square because they were like super nice, and they gave me like a nice room because I have so much stuff with me. So go there, and I did a week of press. We did like a lot of things, like all the viral videos from GQ to Wired to BuzzFeed to Vogue to Cosmo, like all this fun stuff. It's coming out on the internet very soon. I told you, content is coming. So I did that. And I also had the pleasure of going to a bunch of Korean American chefs and restaurateurs restaurants. So I went to Cote, which is like a Michelin-starred meat barbecue restaurant. I went to Little Mad, which is really, really cool, really delicious, like Korean, I want to say like also French fusion, really, really good food. And then I went to a place called Nami Nori, which is like hand-rolled temaki sushi kind of stuff. All super freaking delicious, super really cool to see a bunch of Korean American chefs and restaurateurs up and coming. I also, by the way, I was in New York for a day before this trip. I had this dinner with like a bunch of other really fascinating chefs who are all Asian American, doing really cool things. So that was like what really excited me when I was in New York. I was like, oh my God, so much good food. Also really cool to see like really interesting Asian American chefs and Asian chefs doing things in the food world and being celebrated for it. So kudos to you, props to you. I love it. So that happens. And then I went to SNL. I went to SNL, the Billie Eilish episode, had a great time. Finally got to meet Bo and Yang in person. We had been, we're like Instagram friends, and we're in like a bunch of like group chats together. But it was the first time we met, and he was the nicest guy. Obviously, he's freaking hilarious, but the nicest dude, and had a great time at SNL. And then I flew to LA, and here we are. This is what we're doing. We're doing this episode. All to say, this year has been wild. This year has been a bit crazy for everybody. And everybody might feel stressed and overwhelmed and overloaded and exhausted because it's a constant emotional roller coaster of what we're going through. But I just want to remind you that, everything gets better. Next year is going to be better. It's going to be great because you have new music from me and you have a tour from me. But also because I think, we're all slowly starting to come back to normal, whatever that means now. But the most important thing is that you take care of yourself. The most important thing is that you stay happy, that you stay healthy, and that you stay safe, and that you do what you want to do. So I'm excited for this year to be wrapping up. I'm really excited for 2022. I'm excited to be trying new things, to build new things, to experiment with how I create, and to challenge myself in the next year. And I hope that you guys will be there to do the same with me, and that we're going to do it together. It's going to be a great time. And that's like all I really got for you guys. Again, I just want to reiterate how appreciative I am of all of you, to the fans, the listeners, to the patrons, to the staff, the team, the artists, the management teams, my brothers, the producers, the graphic designers, like literally everybody. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I think that's all I have to say. You know, I didn't want to make this like a super depressing episode, because it's not goodbye. It's just see you later, and I will see you later. What else? Is that it? Is that how I'm gonna wrap it? Is that how I'm gonna wrap this show right now? Connect with me. Stay connected with me on socials. Obviously, Eric Dom, everywhere. I'm everywhere. Just find me. And this is the Daebak Show. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, week, night, study session, drive session, whatever it is you're doing. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Goodbye. I love you guys. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Holy jabezus, that was an incredible video, wasn't it? No? Yeah? Okay, well, if you liked it, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn your notifications on so you don't miss this incredible content that we have coming for you. And if you get a moment, leave us a comment. Don't go anywhere, watch more videos, and stay healthy and happy. See you soon. Bye! Where are you going? Okay.